Hello, this is Mrs. Elias. I'm sorry I'm not able to be with you in class today. I'm still very sick, and Owen is also sick as well today. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the lesson for you that I would have done if I were here, and you can kind of go at your own pace. It's just going to be really quick going through a few things. You should have taken your spelling test already. If you haven't, please do that first. You're going to need your notebook with the notes pages that you glued in yesterday, and you should have that little bookmark right in there so you can flip right to it. So yesterday we went over line and stanza. If you need a refresher of those things, look at your notes. We're going to start today with rhyme. And my homeroom class, I know we did this really quick yesterday, so this will just be a very quick review. So rhyme is when words sound alike because they have the same ending sound. This is the definition that you want to copy down on your notes page, so you can pause the screen until you've copied it, and then you can hit play again. Just a side note, a word always rhymes with itself, and not all poems rhyme. For your example, please write down the words lamp and stamp, and then underline the AMP in each of those words. Because those words have the same ending vowel sounds and consonant sounds, the amp sound, those are rhyming words. They both sound the same at the end of the word. Here's an example of a very short poem. Hector the collector collected bits of string, collected dolls with broken heads and rusty bells that would not ring. And you can see I underline the words string and ring because they have the same ending sound, so they rhyme. Here's another short poem. How do dreams know when to creep into my head when I fall off to sleep? And I underline creep and sleep because those are my two words that rhyme. Okay, now we're going to get into something a little bit more complicated, and actually if you're very good with patterns in math, you might find this to be pretty easy, and this is called rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is a pattern of rhyme. This is the definition that you want to write down on your notes page, so go ahead and pause and then hit play when you've done that. To do a rhyme scheme, scheme just means pattern. You're going to use the letters of the alphabet to represent the sounds so you can see the pattern. You're always going to start with the letter A, and you go in ABC order, alphabetical order. So words that rhyme with each other are going to get labeled with the same letters of the alphabet. This is a little hard to explain, but it will make more sense. I'm going to go through an example with you. In your notes packet for the example, can you please copy down this very short poem right here? Pause the screen and then hit play once you've copied it down. So this poem goes, the monster chef cooked up a meal of spotted toad and speckled eel. He threw some socks into a pot and boiled buttons piping hot. Also on your example page, you're going to copy down what I do here. You always, always, always are going to label the first line with the letter A, because that's the first letter of the alphabet. This is the word meal. You look at the last word in the line. So meal is going to get the letter A as its label. Then you're going to go to the next line. Does eel rhyme with meal? Yes, because those two words rhyme, that is also going to get a letter A. Then you'll go to the next line and look at the last word. Does pot rhyme with eel and meal? No, it does not. Because it does not rhyme, you go to the next letter of the alphabet, which is the letter B. So pot gets labeled with the letter B. And then you're going to look at their fourth line. Does hot rhyme with pot? Yes, it does. So because this rhymes with pot, it also is going to get the same alphabet letter, which was a B. So the rhyme scheme of this poem is A, B, B. Please copy that down in your example box. Here's another example. You don't need to copy this down. This poem is called The Germ. A mighty creature is the germ, though smaller than the pachyderm. His customary dwelling place is deep within the human race. His childish pride he often pleases by giving people strange diseases. Do you, my poppet, feel infirm? You probably contain a germ. Which is very appropriate right now for how I am feeling, and I know some of you might be feeling too. Okay, so to label the rhyme scheme, we're going to look at the ending words of the lines. We always start at the top. The word germ, always start with the letter A to label, so that will get an A. Pachyderm. Does this word rhyme with germ? Pachyderm, germ? Yeah, it's a close rhyme. It's not perfect, but it's close. So we are also going to label that with an A. Then we'll look place. Does place rhyme with erm? No, it does not, so we go to the next letter of the alphabet. That's going to get a B. Next line, does race rhyme with place? Yes, it does. So that is also going to get a letter B, because these are our rhyming words. Next line, does pleases rhyme with race? No, it does not. We do want to check to make sure it doesn't rhyme with anything else we've already labeled. So it's not going to get a B. Does pleases rhyme with our letter A? Pleases, germ. No. So it doesn't rhyme with anything we've labeled so far, so it will get the next letter of the alphabet, which is C. Does diseases rhyme with anything that came above? Yes, diseases rhymes with pleases, so that's going to get a C. Does infirm rhyme with anything we've already labeled? Diseases, pleases, race, place, pachyderm, germ. Well, even though it's not spelled the same, we have this erm sound, which is what we labeled up here. Germ, pachyderm, infirm, those all rhyme. So this is actually going to go back and get the same letter as up here because it rhymes with these words. So we're going to label this word with an A. So all the erm words got the letter A. Germ is also an erm word, so we're going to label that with an A as well. So you'll notice all of my words labeled with A have the erm sound at the end. All that are labeled with B have the ace sound. All that are labeled with C have the eases sound. Here's another one that's pretty short. Marty Smarty went to a party in her jumbo jet. After tea, she jumped in the sea and got her pants all wet. So can you figure out the rhyme scheme of this poem? See if you can do it first, and then I'll go over it with you. Okay. So here's a set of rhyming words. Here's my first word, party, and C. They're not a perfect match, but they're what's called a near rhyme, meaning they're close enough because we have that E sound at the end. Party, C. Jet and wet also rhyme. So to label the rhyme scheme of this, always start with the letter A. Party's going to get A. Jet does not rhyme with party, so we're going to give it a B. C rhymes with party, or it's a near rhyme, it's close enough, so we'll give that an A. Wet rhymes with jet, so it got a B. Did you figure out it was A, B, A, B? If so, then you're getting the hang of it. Let's do one more. A farmer's boy. They strolled down the lane together. The sky was studded with stars. They reached the gate in silence, and he lifted down the bars. She neither smiled nor thanked him, because she knew not how, for he was just a farmer's boy, and she was a Jersey cow. Can you figure out the rhyme scheme? See if you can do it on your own first. You can pause the screen, and then I'll go over the answer. Always, always, always start with the first letter of the alphabet for the first line, so together gets an A. Stars does not rhyme with together, so it's going to get a B. Silence does not rhyme with stars, and silence does not rhyme with together, so it gets the next letter of the alphabet, which is C. Bars gets labeled with a B because bars rhymes with stars, and stars had the letter B as its label. Him is going to get a D because him doesn't rhyme with bars, him doesn't rhyme with silence, and him does not rhyme with together. So we've already used letters A, B, C. The next letter of the alphabet would be D, and that's why that gets a D label. So look at the word how. Does how rhyme with him? Nope. Does howl rhyme with silence? Nope. Does howl rhyme with stars and bars? Nope. Does howl rhyme with together? Nope. So it's going to get the next letter of the alphabet. We've used A, B, C, D. Next letter we'd use to label is E. Does boy rhyme with any of these words that came above at the end of the lines? No, it does not. So we're going to label it with the next letter of the alphabet, which is F. Does cow rhyme with any of the words at the end of the lines that came above? Yes, it does. Cow rhymes with how, so it's going to get labeled with an E because that's what we labeled how with. So this is an A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E pattern. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go on Schoology, and if you don't get this done today, that's fine. You can do it when we come back to school next week. There is a folder in Schoology that says poetry, and you click on that. There is a folder within there that says Poetry Basics. Click on that. And then click on the red folder that says line, stanza, and rhyme. Those are the ones that we've done already. Within that folder, there are three, we'll call them tests, but they're not like test, it's just practice tests. There are three things for you to complete. The first one is rhyming words. Then there's one where you're doing some rhyme scheme practice for a poem called April, and there's one that's for the poem called The Brook. You have 3 chances for each of these. So if you do it the first time and submit it and see that you got something wrong, you can do it 2 more times. Again, this is just kind of a practice thing for you to see if you're getting the hang of it or not. So please complete these at your own pace, and then you're done for today. If you have extra time, you can independent read. Do not go on to the rhythm folder. Alright, well, hopefully I'll be feeling better, and I will see you all next week. Have a good Valentine's Day weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday.